Hi. Hopefully it's a little bit brighter in here today. I did work on the lights again. I'm going to tell you and show you what happened with my lights. I did, of course, before, a while back I replaced both of these. And after I replaced them, the lights kept blowing again. So I knew it wasn't the socket itself. Even though both sockets were really wore out, I knew it had to be in the wiring. Excuse me. Please don't do what I did. I do not have a ladder, so I ended up standing on my folding chair that I'm sitting on, a metal folding chair, and taking the light down. And I'm going to show you the mistake they made and why I hate some of these electrical connectors. Now, both the lights, the sockets were wired onto this. As you can see, it's a crimp type. Both the positives and negatives were going into separate wires, but all three went into one. You know, right here, two positives and then one out. Now this ran up into the roof, and it's one of these. I absolutely hate these. They are complete crap. Any electrician using these is doing it because it's fast. For the time it takes to put on one regular screw-on wire nut, you can put on 15 of these, if not more, because it just slides up in there. Now watch this. And you're probably going, why is it doing that? Why is it letting loose like that? Well, what happens with these is when you push them in, it closes some little metal clamps kind of on the wire itself, and the wires will heat up and expand, and eventually it will move those, and those will heat up and they'll move and they'll become loose. I don't know if you can see the wire is all the way to the end inside there. See that? So my lights, all these lights, unfortunately here, and you can see this will just wiggle and comes right out. All the lights in this studio apartment are connected in the ceiling with these. Now, this one isn't the only one that's been blowing bulbs, so I already know the problem. It's in the ceiling itself. It's how they have it wired. These are complete junk. If you have a light that's constantly blowing bulbs, it could be, of course, the socket. But if you replace that socket and it's still doing it, and you have something like this, or your wires are wire nutted together and they're still tight, most likely up in the ceiling is one of these. See, this one's still tight on this side. Not super tight, but it's tight. Compared to this one. So what's happening is the electricity is not getting a good connection. And it is shorting out the bulbs. Especially these stinking piece of crap LED bulbs. So if your lights keep going out, and let's say you've already checked these or replaced them, and they still keep blowing, and your wires are like this and they're tight, or you have a wire nut on there and all the wires are tight and snug, most likely up in the ceiling where these lights connect, the wire connects, is something like this. Hold on, Midnight. Give me just a second. Alright, you want? You tired? Okay, that's how I fixed my lights. I took this junk out, and I used wire nuts, the twist type, and with the new light sockets I already had, that I already put on, I wire nutted the wires together and bypassed all this. Anyway, I want to let you know I haven't been doing much on the camper because, well, I still need to find help. I also want to let you know I do have another can of that powdered butter coming. The can had a little dent in it. When I emailed the people and asked them about the date, they, of course, noticed the dent. And they said they were going to send me another can because that can was dented. Well, they did send it. Unfortunately, FedEx has this can, and it's been in Tennessee for like 12 days already, and it has not moved. Because as soon as I asked them about the date on the bottom of the can, they saw the picture and saw the dent. So they sent a can out like that afternoon to replace this one. Once that one gets here, if it's not really damaged, if it ever gets here, I may open this can of canned butter and do some experimenting with it. We'll see. Also, I did give away the HP desktop, so I have no more computers here to give away. I think I will not get any more desktops. They take up too much room. The HP did not have a monitor because I couldn't give away my girlfriend's monitor for her computer. And, you know, I just didn't have a monitor to go with that. But, you know, the guy said it was for his kid and he'd find a monitor, so I had no issue with that. The Dell, I already told you I gave that away. So basically, I have no extra computers right now. If I get any more laptops, I will fix them up and donate them. Put Windows 10 on it, whatever. But I want to let you know, I went through hell with this light. Because first thing I did was notice the socket was a little loose. The bulb would wiggle a little bit. So I replaced both sockets. And it still kept blowing the bulbs. So I went and checked the wiring, and this is what I found up inside the ceiling. And it's very, very loose. And unfortunately, some of our other lights are doing the same thing. So I already know what I'm going to find. These pieces of crap. So I know how to fix them, but I'm not dumb enough to stand on my chair again. That was really stupid on my part. Anyway, I wanted you to see what it took for me to actually fix that light. And like I said, I did something stupid. I stood on my chair, my metal folding chair that I'm sitting in now. That's not very smart. If you have to work on lights, one, make sure your power's off and make sure there's no power going to it. Two, get yourself a ladder. You know, even if you have to borrow one. Replacing the sockets weren't bad. That's not something I had to really get a ladder for. But reaching up to the ceiling and inside the ceiling, I should have had a ladder. If you are building a house and you hire an electrician, don't let them use these. And you can see it's just sliding right in and out. No force whatsoever. This is what was shorting out my light bulbs. These things are crap. Don't let an electrician use them. You don't use them. You're asking for trouble if you do. Alright, anyway, I'm fixing to go. Like I said, I did give away the HP desktop. I gave away the Dell not that long ago, like last week or this week, last weekend or whatever it was. So I won't really be doing anything on computers unless I get some more laptops, because I'm not going to get any more desktops. It's just, I just don't have anywhere to put them. But and if you're going to use something like this on a heavy wire that runs something like your microwave or a toaster, don't. I mean, seriously, don't. A lot of electricians going to be pissed at me going, well, it's just so easy to use. We just strip the wire with a wire stripper and just shove the wire right in. Yeah, you're right. It's easy. It's fast. But look at that. And the thing is, our apartments, they built these apartments, the studios, into this house probably about 8 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that, 7, 8 years ago. So it's not that old. Once again, these. Look at that. Alright, I'm fixing to go. I want to let you know, I went ahead and fixed the light. Hopefully, it's giving more light. We do have light fixtures with the fogged or smoky glass on it, so it doesn't get a lot of light out. But hopefully, you can see me better. Anyway, if you're running into a problem, like I did with the light fixture, don't just check where they have the socket connected. If that's going up on a separate line, you may have these. Alright, that's it. I'm fixing to go. And everyone have a good day. Bye.